Good day everyone, David Paul speaking. It's the 8th of May, Friday the 8th of May, a bank holiday here in the UK, and it's about 20 to 4 in the afternoon. The American session is running for 1 hour. We'll look at that momentarily. But the situation in the UK at the end of trading on Thursday the 7th of May looking pretty good. The short-term trend, or the primary wave in VectorVest, is up. We've got a green light in the color guard, and there's a little black star winking at us in that green light, which tells us that the price is up day over day and week over week. And we've got a confirmed up in place, and the advice, very positive. VectorVest advocates buying safe undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. So if we have a look at the VectorVest composite, which I have open, I think. No, it's the wrong one. And that's the VectorVest Composite UK, and I've in fact labeled the confirmed ups and the confirmed downs. There's a confirmed down on the 25th of February that should have kept us out of all of this nightmare, and the latest confirmed up on the 27th of April, about a week ago or so, and that confirmed up is still in place. As you can see, this resistance has become support. That's quite a good sign. The MTI is above 1. Clearly that's why the underlying trend is up, and the buy-sell ratio has improved. It's still less than 1. I'll be much happier when I see this breaking above 1. I started to take positions here in the UK based on an earlier signal, based on the DEW market timing system. I'm going to put that up. There's the DEW. Take off the envelope so you can see it a bit easier, and make the old moving average red, for example. There we can see, let's put on the DEW signals, and the DEW gave a buy signal on the 7th of April, pretty much a month before the more conservative DEW gave a signal, and that's how I've been in fact taking most of my positions since that. So we have portfolio shares. I've spoken about quite a few of them before, and we'll just go to those shares now. If I go to viewers, and I'm already in the watch list viewers. So that's the shares that I'm holding: Polymetal, Games Workshop, GB Group, Halma. So I've got quite a few of these, and I'm going to chart them for us now. That's Polymetal, and it's run with the gold price. That's the DEW up, and that's been particularly good. I like the way it's pulling back and kissing this last old top, but I do see a little bit of weakness in the gold price, folks, so I would leave that for the time being. Games Workshop had a great run up here. That's the DEW signal, but it's moving sideways in this little flag. So if the general market keeps going and you see it breaking out of that flag, it's on a buy recommendation. I think that this can quite easily push up to those old highs from here. So keep your eye on Games Workshop. If you haven't got it already, then I think there's probably some money to be made if you can see it breaking up above about £60. It's been great for us. Those of you that had the strength to buy in with the DEW are sitting on nearly £15 with profit. That's 33%. So as you can see, there's some really great signals based on Fibonacci and simple trend lines on Games Workshop from that level. A great little company. GB Group still pushing up, still okay. This pattern a bit of a mess, but it's still making rising bottoms. That's Halma. Halma charted this little flag pattern and broke out of the flag last week. It's just about to break a 52-week high, and I think that if the general market continues up, and that looks okay in the UK, then this thing can push much higher indeed. It's a great stock, Halma. I love the stock. Avon Rubber, I've been holding it for a while. Consolidated here. It's come back to that trend line a few times, and looks as if it can go much higher. I'm very happy with that. That's Cranswick. I bought into it still a tad underwater in Cranswick. I'm not in the slightest worried. It's a great stock, Cranswick. Diploma pushing up very nicely again from this confluence of Fibonacci and trendline support here after the sell-off, moving up very nicely with the general market indeed. Crichton's, I bought into it maybe a tad late, and the position still a tad or a little bit underwater. And Lion Trust Asset Management looks fine to me, and Berkeley going very nicely indeed. And right at the bottom of the pack, JD Sports had a very good day on Thursday after that takeover of one of their opposition companies was in fact turned down. It means that the market thinks they've got £90 million more in their war chest. So that takeover of a competitive company, in fact, the lack of the takeover is seen as positive by the market. Out of those, I like the look of Halma, I like the look of Games Workshop for some very fast moves up, but I think that you do well in those stocks as long as the general market keeps moving up. The front page of VectorVest looks very positive indeed. But as always, folks, the direction is invariably dictated by what happens across the water, across the pond, should I say. So let's look at VectorVest USA. Now this is running today. We just had the Non Farm Payroll this afternoon. The number that came in was dismal in that America cut 20.7 million jobs in the last month. And nevertheless, the market has moved up this afternoon on that. We are at a critical phase. I know I keep saying this in the American market, and I'll point that out for us in a second. The underlying trend is down. We've still got a confirmed down, but based on the first hour's worth of action, the primary wave has turned up and we've got a green light in the price column. Now that can change because this is just an intraday move. So far in the day, we've had the last couple of days now where the advances have been significantly greater than that of the declines, which is very positive indeed. Now what I have loaded is that I have loaded a chart of the S&P 500. And this chart of the S&P 500, if I can get my Fibonacci off this for a second, and I'll blow it up a little bit, I'll put on the DEW where I started to take positions just here, and this came off this 61% retracement of that last range for those of you that are Fibonacci analysts. Now at the minute, folks, we have a situation where it was sold vigorously at that 61% retracement of that range. It came off, if you remember, Thursday and Friday of the week before, last week were very strong down days. It then rallied, and this afternoon, after the news, the American market in fact stopped at a fib level up here. That's at about 29.18 from memory, which was in fact 78% of this range. So we have a situation, folks, where we've got very bulls buying the market down around these lows and the bears selling around these highs. S&P needs to get up through this high before this market is confirmed on the upside. So just watch those levels. I think the level to watch would be, I'm going to try and draw this in for you if I can be, from that high down to that low. And as you can see, the high of the day was exactly 78% of that retracement to the tick. And the market has made 3 waves up, and the fib traders were selling it aggressively at, I think, 29.18 marked the high of the day. Market needs to burst through these levels before this upside is confirmed. So if you see the S&P moving up above 29.40, 29.50, it would mean that this 78% retracement is well out of the way. I'm hoping that that will be the case, and that the UK market can keep moving up quite strongly. If so, then those positions that I spoke about a moment ago in the UK should do exceptionally well indeed. I hope you found this useful. Thanks very much.